Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. My name is Salvador Brigman, and on this channel we talk about how to raise money effectively using crowdfunding, using online fundraising, some of the techniques that I've discovered to help you do that. And today specifically, we're talking about how to use Instagram for your GoFundMe campaign. How do you make use of this social network to get traffic, strangers, and backers on your GoFundMe campaign? That is what we are covering today. All right, so let's get started. Instagram has been growing a ton in the last couple of years. We also see it aging up with more older demographics adopting the platform, people posting photos now of their life, people posting stories of their life, and even now with Instagram TV taking longer clips and putting them on the platform for their friends and family to discover. So this is a way that you can actually get attention and get traffic to your GoFundMe campaign. Wherever attention flows, money goes. I don't think I made that up, but that's a really coin of a phrase that I remember. Wherever attention goes, money flows. So if people's eyes are on this platform and they're scrolling through their feed, that is an opportunity for you to capture their attention, tell them a little bit about your story and what you're doing, and to get them onto your GoFundMe campaign. And possibly, if they're interested, if you hit some of the triggers that I talk about in other videos, that empathy, the storytelling, the feeling distress and wanting to help out, some of those other things I cover in other videos, then you can get them to take action. But the first way that you can very easily use Instagram is by embedding the link in your profile bio. So your profile bio, you can say a little bit about who you are, talk a little bit about maybe what makes you you, or your identity, or whatever it is you want to include in that profile bio. You could also maybe tell your story a little bit in that profile bio, but you can also then include a link in that bio, and that is a really easy way where people can just go to your profile, they can click on that link, and they can be taken to your GoFundMe campaign page. That is so much simpler than then having to, when you post on Instagram, you can have a photo and a caption, and you can write a little bit in the caption. If you just paste this long GoFundMe link in your caption for your photo, no one is going to be able to click that. You can't click the text in that link. And also, it's very rare someone's gonna actually stop their phone to go onto the laptop to type in that exact URL, or to try to makeshift write it down so they can then go on their phone to that link, because you can't really copy the text in a caption of an Instagram photo. It's just so much work and so much headache. And the idea here is to make things as simple as possible for others that are out there when they're trying to support your campaign. So instead, what you do is, one strategy would be posting a photo or video on the platform, and then in the description of that photo to say, hey, if you're interested, go and check out the link in my profile bio. Or for people that are leaving comments, say, awesome, the link is, if you go to my profile bio, you click that link, that will take you to the GoFundMe campaign. Or with direct messages, you could always send a link, or you could even just say, if you're interested, go and check out the link in my profile bio. So this can kind of be like a home base, is your profile. For people that are lazy and they just want to click a link to be taken to your crowdfunding campaign page, that is an easy way to do that. Now, the other thing is with Instagram stories, and there are two ways to use Instagram stories. The first, I actually covered in another video that I have out there on YouTube, which discusses how do you include a link on your Instagram stories, so you can say, hey, swipe up if you're interested in this campaign, or you want to learn more about the story, if you want to find out X, Y, and Z, swipe up, take them to the campaign page. That's basically a specification that only some people on Instagram can do. So go and watch that other YouTube video if you want to learn how to do that. But you can also use Instagram stories to post video and photos which share things in your life, which have calls to action, which share little bits of information in order to warm people up to what it is that you're trying to do. You can use these Instagram stories and also the profile to warm people up and create rapport. So rapport is when people know who you are. They see your face, they see how you sound, they have a sense of your energy. The more that we see people, the more we become familiar with them. I had an experience like that today where I'm at a co-working space now, And I have exchanged only a few words with the person at the desk of this co-working space, but because I see them regularly, it's almost just natural for me to smile when I see them, because like, oh, look, it's you again. Like, I don't really know very much about you, but I'm seeing you all the time. I feel familiar around that person. And you also have neighbors like that, like your neighbor if you're in an apartment complex, down a few doors down, or your neighbor who's across the street from you, you might not actually know very much about them, but every time you see them, you get a little bit happy and you smile and you wave at them and you greet each other because you're seeing them so much. You kind of want to become a neighbor to people through your Instagram stories. You want them to keep seeing your face, to keep learning about your life, to keep getting a sense of your energy and your vibe by posting these stories every single day. And in that way, people become more familiar to you, and they're more willing to listen to you and pay attention to you when you are then telling that story that leads into your GoFundMe campaign and the ask that you're having of them. They're more willing to pay attention to you, and they're more willing to actually listen when you want to say something important to them. What are some examples of what you could post on that story? Well, number one, could be really easy, just talking a little bit about your day, what you're doing, something funny, telling a tiny story about your day. That's an easy way to create rapport. Another could be a little bit closer to this GoFundMe campaign. So why it is that you are going to be launching this campaign. Why has it come to this? What is going to happen if you're not able to figure out this problem and surmount this obstacle? What are the stakes, basically, if you end up failing? And you can also not even just do talking videos. You could show people using your phone, maybe this person that you're raising money on behalf of your father or your mother using GoFundMe, and you can show them in the hospital bed, like, this is their state right now, and I feel so bad about it, and I wanted to just help them out, so I'm going to raise money for their medical expenses. You can use your phone as a way to tell the story and to show people video clips, just tiny little clips, and also talk to them about why it is that this is an important cause for you and why you're doing this. Another simple thing that you can use these stories for, if you're not comfortable being in front of the camera, which I know not a lot of people are. I also struggle being in front of the camera, just being honest sometimes. You can post photos with some text on the top or the bottom of the photo to add some context to what this photo means. So maybe this is like a before and after shot, where before this happened and then a car crash happened and this is the after shot, and we're trying to raise money to help my brother who's going through a lot of difficulties with medical problems. You can use photos to tell a story. You can post multiple photos on your Instagram story, and then you can actually track, this is kind of like a secret here, you can track the people who watch your stories all the way through. So let's just say you post one story, you get 60 people who watch it. You post another story, another story, another story. By the end of that story, there are 30 people who have watched all the way to the end. You can visibly see the profiles of all the people who are watching to the end of the story, and then you could personally reach out to those individuals and ask them, hey, would you be willing to help with this cause? If they say yes, you can direct them to the link for your GoFundMe campaign and say, thank you so much. You can follow up with them. You can do all these different things. You can also have a sense of what did they connect with. You can look through their profile, you can learn a little bit about them. So there's a lot you can do with the Instagram platform in order to get traffic and attention to your GoFundMe campaign. Now there are so many things here that we could talk about. I'm just gonna go through a few others. Like, for example, you can use hashtags, searching for hashtags, seeing what kind of photos are being posted in those hashtags. You could add yours to the mix. A hashtag is basically just a description. You put that hashtag in either the comment section of your photo that you post on the Instagram feed, or you could put that in your actual caption. You could do other stuff, like you could tag people in your photos to draw awareness, or if you have people that are actually in that photo and you want to make sure that they see that you posted this, you can ask people to like a particular photo. You know, Instagram's changed a little bit, so you're not going to see the number of likes on a photo, but you can actually see privately the people that have engaged with that photo. You can also say, hey, if you also agree with this, that this needs to be fixed in our community, or this needs to be fixed as a world problem, leave a comment down below. You can get some interaction on those photos that you're posting. So don't just necessarily throw photos up there on Instagram or think that this social network is too complicated. It's actually very simple. And the more that you can use this network to get rapport, that people know who you are, they're commenting, they're liking, they're watching your stories, they're interacting, they're clicking your links, the more that you can get rapport Then you can transition them to the page, and that's really where the magic happens, and that's where you start to get donations to your campaign. This takes some time, but you just got to learn the functionality of Instagram. The functionality is really simple, Elodie. You can just spend 20 minutes learning about how Instagram works, what you can do with it, and in that way, it's going to make things much more powerful. When you know how to use the tools that you have, it makes you powerful, man. It makes you able to execute and able to use them appropriately. So make sure you learn the tool a little bit and the functionality, and then you can apply it to your campaign. So I hope you like this video. And also, I have a book out there called Crowdfunding Personal Expenses, which goes through not only Instagram, but also how you can use Facebook, how you can use other social media networks to get traffic to your campaign. Some of the ways I haven't talked about here in order to get backers and specifically strangers to support your GoFundMe campaign. Lots of great stuff in that book. There's a paperback version on Amazon. There's also an Audible version if you're interested. So I'll link that up down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Give me a thumbs up if you did like it. Come subscribe if you want more content like this. My name is Salvador, and I will see you next time.